humans have been sharing stories with each other, with and without words, since pretty much the beginning of time. I really thought that storytelling evolved from two key abilities: mental time travel, which is our capacity to recall the past and imagine the future, and a concept in neuroscience called theory of mind, which is our ability to understand what others think and feel. It's thought that these abilities let us move beyond the present moment because they allow us to kind of place ourselves in different times, places, perspective, live different lives essentially. Now, when we tell or listen to a story, we're essentially simulating an experience. And our mind uses stories to mentally rehearse challenges, we can test decisions, and prepare for possible futures. And it's thought that this gave our ancestors a survival advantage because they could learn from others' experiences without having to live them firsthand. In that sense, we think in stories because stories are how the brain organizes time, meaning, and memory. They turn these lived moments into lessons, into constructs. We can really think of storytelling as a cognitive tool that we use to make sense of the world. But the same ability to tell stories outwardly is also how we make sense of our inner realities, so ourselves. And the stories we tell about who we are, what's happened to us, and what we believe we're capable become the frameworks through which we interpret our lives. And this is why it is so important to construct these stories with care. A lot of the stories we tell ourselves about ourselves run on autopilot. We can think of them a little bit like habits. Our thoughts can become habitual, just as behaviors. And so a lot of our narratives are essentially conclusions about ourselves and our place in the world. So where we run into difficulty is that sometimes these conclusions we draw about ourselves are really not very fair to ourselves. Stay tuned to learn about how these inner stories are formed, often long before we have the context to see them clearly, and how we can use neuroscience to rewrite them.